intel there across the team spirit. Ramsey's down in the bottom lane. Full Ursa Bear. God Black. Always want to fly these two roaming and rotating potential supports. No boots on God Black, which we've seen him go for in the past, but...
Yeah. God Black, no stranger to early game aggression, and sorry about that, I have these wonderful wireless headphones that think turning themselves off is a lot of fun. But yeah, we got the Nyx Assassin that you were calling for, and I don't know. This is a really aggressive draft from Spirit, and I think RoX have a lot of tools to deal with them.
With Ghost Stick's Time Walk, it doesn't purge things off, it just heals you up. So with the Fury swipes from Ursa, the stacks are going to still stay. They can find themselves a position in this off lane where Ramses gets a few hits in, forces the Time Walk, and then they get the stun for Ramses to actually encroach and make up the distance. They could kill this Void on lane.
They can, but that better happen early on, because the minute this lineup from Roxkiss has any levels whatsoever and even a couple of items, they just have so many tools to deal with the Ursa. It really does all boil down to that.
Out you in a piece. Not gonna be sneaky. No one's being naughty. No one's stealing anything. Afterlife going for the more conventional, I guess more old school build here of the double mango stout shield. No Iron Talon in sight for him just yet. Does have 5 HP regen a second, honestly, without using a tango or anything like that. So surviving up here, it's going to be Tron. Playing your OD RMN on that Oracle. Mid lane Queen of Pain for BZZ, while Icebergs and Vogue are going to be supported a little bit by Always Wanna Fly's Earthquake, just sitting behind him. Safe lane dual lane, Goblack plus Ramses. Dealing with a Lich Void off lane. This is disgusting.
It really is. I just like everything about RoX's lineup composition. Now, again, that's not necessarily telling. I said that in the last draft, and Empire lost the early game pretty handily. But you know, on paper, I just really like this Roxkiss composition.
Afterlife. Oh, Afterlife.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
One final click, he's gone. They knew he didn't go for Carapace or stun. They knew he went for the Mana Burn. They were certain they could get the kill, and they secured it in some fashion. Tron and RMN pairing up very nicely there. You know, without Arcane Orb, without Purifying Flames, just having Astral and Fortune Nose. The Nyx at bay. This is already going to be a difficult lane for Afterlife.
And oh boy, Yo might go down here too. Nice body block. Oh boy. The problem with Nyx too is he's not necessarily one of those Iron Talon junglers that can just have a fallback plan if the lane goes poorly. So you're stuck with Mana Burn at level 1. You're going to be getting zoned out here almost completely.
I've seen Mag do the Iron Talon a couple of times, and it's worked out okay. But I just think Mana Burn level 1 is really weird. It's working okay against RMN right here, trading hits with him, but the mana cost and the sort of intensivity of this spell feels kind of awkward when you could have a stun to try and steal assets or something like that. But that is game plan for now.
So I am interested. So do you think it's the right call here, shifting the Queen of... I thought that this was going to be a BZZ safe lane quap. And do you think it's the right call, shifting her into the mid lane to get the matchup against Invoker? They obviously did not... They obviously agree with what you were saying early in the draft, that the OD Invoker matchup is not that favorable.
I'm not entirely sure. I guess the Queen of Pain is less susceptible to being roamed on by Earth Spirit, especially, but also in addition to the Venge.
Oh,
we're just going to watch Yol cut himself through the trees and now walk straight back into Always Wanna Fly. There's no gap. There's nowhere to run. There is no pathing here. Your pathing god is dead. Roaming onto mid, there's Afterlife, faking out the stun. Yeah, I think it's just the fact that BZZ is not likely to die mid, whereas the OD could.
Oh god, man, he is really lucky. BZZ is actually really lucky there that Mana Burn still had 3 seconds on cooldown when Afterlife walked up around the ramp there, because if he gets Mana Burn off there, BZZ does not have enough mana to blink.
Right now, but this Obs Ward's going to spot out Afterlife's every movement. He's going to come in and hit him a couple of times, punch him. Afterlife, he's got Stout Shield, 5.1 HP regen, he doesn't care. He is well happy trading hits with his Queen of Pain mid just to give Iceberg that little bit of advantage kind of looking for. While Ramsey's a bottom lane, his Ursa's not having the best of times. You compare his CS with the ODs. 20 and 10, 13 and 1. A little bit disparate there between the two of them because Tron is a free lane. He is alone on his top lane, while RMN can stack and pull and just wander around doing whatever he wants.
Yeah, but when you compare the fact that the OD has been living in a totally uncontested lane and the Ursa has a hero kill right now, the disparity is certainly not what it could be.
Oh, stick. He's got the ice armor on him, and Ramses does not like this one bit. Oh, there's a kill on mid lane as the Nyx gets taken out.
And that's the route from the Oracle, and that's just so disastrous. Afterlife feeling that the best use of his time, and he's probably right, is to contest the Queen of Pain mid because
Ramses dead.
Oh boy.
One bash. They're gonna get it.
This is just disaster for Spirit. I know the kill score is close, guys, but this is exactly what they did not want to happen in the early game.
Lich pick definitely threw a spanner in the works and always want to fly. We're seeing the same story again. This Earth Spirit feels, in some respects, a lot like that kind of roaming support bounty hunter we used to see. Where in the early stages, if you don't get to that level 3 mark, you're in trouble.
That is a nasty early Earth Spirit combo right there. And good call by Yol just to say goodbye.
Yeah, see ya, buddies. Ghost sticks out as well. All of these resources piled into the bottom lane. Spirit and Venge not roaming mid, not helping Iceberg. Looking at this Oracle and Queen of Pain looking to maybe try and slow his farm rate. But Iceberg 21 and 15, he's crushing this Queen of Pain. Yes, help of that Nyx assassin coming across, but it does leave Nyx at level 2.5. Now trying to deal with these jungle creeps. Okay, you've got Quelling Blade. Doesn't make it really that much easier, and RMN just biding his time, waiting. Moment to strike.
Iceberg to be just a little bit lower here.
Gonna go now. Scream initiation. Yeah. There's Iceberg. Fairy fires up. He's healing himself through with a cross. It's not enough. BCZ will find the kill.
Good patience. He knew exactly. That's good coordination by the two teammates there. Knew exactly how much damage their spell combo did with a couple right clicks. They knew Invoker had the Fairy Fire, and that's just really good planning by him to wait until Invoker gets harassed down by Shadow Strike.
Meanwhile, in top lane land, OD 37 and 26. I don't even know if he needs all these denies, but he's just padding out his stats. He wants himself to be up on Dat Dota, be in Nahaz's spreadsheets.
There you go, baby.
At number 1.
What we're talking about. The numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie, but it's great.
Well, actually, we have Sir selecting stats now. They probably do. I mean, but anyway, RMN is gonna get initiated on here.
You call them stats. He posts memes in the little stat box.
It's true.
That's what he does, stat memes.
Memes that occasionally feature numbers.
Yep. RMN, he's likely dead here. More than likely. Oh, that's a good strike.
Oh, and that actually is huge that they figure out a way to give that kill to Iceberg.
Without him leaving the lane as well, yeah.
Right.
Oh, Godblack chased down. BZZ Shadow Strikes there, y'all. That's a nice little sentry. Godblack's not going to get dropped, and they also find the D-ward. Godblack, great awareness. That Lich come across, puts himself in harm's way, but still D-ward out. Oh, Ramses the bottom lane. This is where he starts to fully bully Ghost Stick. Just look at that damage. He misses out on the clap, which maybe could have secured a kill. Goals Lich. Good mana, always want to fly, same kind of story. Everyone running around with no mana pool to deal with.
You cannot, oh my goodness. With all that OD is getting up here, you can't just go ahead and give him a kill as well. I was just getting ready to say that the Spirit cores were having a better time in this game despite the contested lane bot, but the OD kill just nullifies so much of that progress, and you're going to get a kill onto Ursa here too.
Well, they're taking him out. BZZ, good rotation, doesn't even expend a Sonic Wave. And with a 2-1-2-1 build, still ready to go and kill someone off again if they want to find Earth Spirit, always want to fly. Envision.
And that's about as big a turnaround as you can have at 7 minutes there for RoX, those 2 kills. The laning phase is just kind of out of control now for Spirit. I mean, Iceberg is going to have a decent timing on his Midas, but the cores of RoX are just going to be so far ahead.
And a 7.5 minute Nyx Assassin Iron Talon. This is why I kind of wanted him to go for the Iron Talon as straight as he possibly could, because Blangos and Stout Shield, if they don't ensure you a good laning stage and good experience game, they are worth it. Roll into mid with a kick as well. Sunstrike good. BZZ taken out of the game. Oh, he blinks himself back with the help of the bottle. Also holding on to the Fairy Fire, but those stick charges working out wonders. Once again, Team Spirit inches away from grabbing themselves a juicy kill. But yeah, Nyx Assassin, if the Stout Shield double mango don't ensure you levels on the off lane, that was a wasted gold, in my mind.
Yes. I think that's right as far as the workout. This is, again, though, RoX are getting these big kills onto Team Spirit when they absolutely have to have them. Iceberg is able to buy out for his Midas there, so it's not that big a loss, but boy oh boy. They're going to have to find a way to stop the bleeding here. They really are.
The drums treads 9 minutes.
Yeah, it's just such a good call. Again, for the same reason that Earn Drum was a good call for Spectre in our last match, I feel like the drum treads is such a good call for OD here. He's just ready to fight.
And the thing is, I was saying how Enrage for Ursa it's going to be great. I said it was going to be amazing against OD and Queen of
Until
Fate.
he pops Enrage and immediately gets imprisoned for the duration.
Yeah. But not just that. You look at the OD, he's level 8, he's got his level 3 orb, and Enrage, it's 80% damage reduction, right? But OD still deals out a shit ton more damage. I don't think Ramsey's going to be able to do that man mode, jump in, find these kills, especially when he's so far away from Blink Dagger. I mean, he's looking for a Morbid Mask at 9 minutes. His farm rate has been completely subdued.
Yeah.
Think of the Cubs. Hungry.
That's just hey, I'm a Cardinal baseball fan. I don't think of the Cubs, especially when they're losing. But anyway,
I don't get that reference, but haha.
I understand. Europeans, haha. Come on, Twitch, back me up.
Euros, shake my head.
The problem is, though, as we talked about early on, this Ursa, he needed to get ahead. He needed to be online. He needed to be taking Roche before all of the tools that RoX have to deal with him come online, and that's just not happened at all in this game. Another aggressive smoke here is going to be a kill, at least on the Goblak.
Oh, he's going to fly. He tries his best Superman impression and rolls himself out, but a few supports are got us here, and this is going to transition nicely into Tier 1, so not only does Team Spirit get themselves a grasp on the map. OD, what's he waiting for? Looking for a kill on Iceberg? TP in with the Astral there, Oracle. He'll set up, kill off the Forge Spirit, watching the defenders ready, and Iceberg, you've got no points in Wex, he'll try and iceball himself out of this one. The Cold Snap is good, but Tron just has too much damage. Through the Sanity's Eclipse, they'll clear him up, and Iceberg's laning stage has been demolished.
Unfortunately, it's just what happens when Roxkiss are just getting exactly the kills that they need to at the right times. It's so the way the XP comeback mechanics work, it doesn't matter if you get this huge lead in lane if you then get killed a couple of times. It just nullifies that advantage so quickly.
Ramses, he's going for Roche, but Yol, Chain Frost is out and Ramses is dead. Yol finds a solo kill and Roshan's not even taken yet. They'll find the next one on Afterlife, and the BGD Queen of Fate blinks on forward, and poor little Nyx Assassin only has an Iron Talon and a Wand.
You could just see poor Ursa there as he was doing Roshan. Just come on, don't sniff me out. He actually popped his ulti a little earlier than he otherwise would optimally, just to try and get that extra damage before he knew Roxkiss were going to show up there.
3,000 net worth on this Ursa. That's about half of what the Outworld Devourer has as he heads into that Rod of Atos. Again, another item that's going to be great against this Ursa, who hates being kited, who hates being slowed down. That cripple effect.
Oh man, the Vlad's is up on the Void just so early on. You compare it to how poor Havosh was in our last match. Void, these utility items that are the build nowadays on him are just so effective when you get him up at this timing.
Hey, just look at his net worth. He's actually second. 4,900. He's pretty much got as much farm as a safe lane carry in a regular game would. You know, not talking free farm. He's done very well for himself. 202, 54 last hits by 12 minutes. More than reasonable, more than satisfactory. It's damn good.
That's understating the case by quite a bit. Even the Queen of Pain that had a Nyx Assassin interface for most of the laning stage is sitting there with a 500 lead on the Invoker.
You've got 5 kills. That's
yes. No, she's played well, but and not only are they kills, but I don't know. I'm gonna stop repeating myself. I promise, guys. I'm sorry, but they just have gotten the kills on Spirit's heroes exactly when they needed to get them to set back their lineup. Yikes.
Can you just take a peek at this Oracle? 2,700 net worth. He's got a buckler. Well, it's what looks like the makings of an Ether Lens. Did you see which order he picked these up in, actually? Like,
I did not.
I wonder if he's going to go mech first and then Ether Lens, or Ether first and then mech. Either way, we'll find out in a bit, I guess. Tranquil Boots, no arcanes for RMN. Moves on into this Radiant jungle. Being spotted out by a good defensive ward here, though. Always want to fly, sets up on mid. He's finally hit that level 6. He kicks, but he misses.
Oh, no.
EZZ was a step ahead.
Yeah, just Spirit desperately trying to get some sort of trade out of that. And they're not going to. I don't think they can take this tier 1 mid, not even close. I'm not even sure they can stop the tier 2 push if RoX decides to go in that direction. Oh, this is a really nice smoke.
I thought they might be able to TP top and stop the Ursa taking the tier 1 up at the top lane.
Why? I mean, yes, you can, but your time is better used being aggressive, taking over that bottom right quadrant of the map.
Motivators for D.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Tier
attack.
1 mid. These ancients have been taken out by Iceberg, the one safe place that he can farm. This Chrono, Ghostic is just ready and prepped for this movement in. If only they had a high ground vision, the smoke will pop and Gob Black will be spotted. Always want to fly, rolls himself away, but Iceberg off a route of 3 here to get himself at the base. Just look at that, TP's the fountain on full HP full mana. That's how paranoid they are.
Exactly, and that's the benefit of this strategic decision by RoX to continue pressuring the Radiant side of the map. I really like that. You don't... Again, there's just no impetus right now to secure your jungle when you're already this far ahead. And great, let Ursa do his thing by himself when your whole team is taking over their side of the map.
Chill guys, Ursa's doing a battle pass quest.
Oh god. Like the mask. Okay. Mask of Madness. Yeah. Wow.
Did you have all the people in your pubs where everyone was spamming Ember Spirit and being absolutely trashed? Oh, always want to fly to you, buddy. Do you have a bunch of Ember Spirit spammers being super trash at the hero in your pubs for like a week and a half? Yeah.
Oh, yes. That was
I played one Ember game and I finished the quest and I was like, oh, that was easy. And then a bunch of my mates were like, this is so hard. This is so hard. All these Ember freaking pickers just doing nothing in the game whatsoever apart from trying to get these slight chains from people.
Not to get too far off topic on this, but I actually thought you put it really well. I forget who you were explaining it to, but the way you put it was Ember is a really hard hero if you don't have the concept in your head about how to play him. That you have to basically ignore the jungle and just farm your face off in lane. And I thought that was a really good explanation. Well, Ursa here better not get caught in this dire jungle. He's really doing the only thing left that he can to be productive with his time, but he's still at a lot of risk here.
If only they could integrate. Did you hear Sir Action Slacks' idea for the Aghanims upgrade for Ursa?
I try not to listen to those, but go ahead.
Okay, so basically what it was, he wants to remove the Ags upgrade that he has
Here's
now.
a Chrono, by the way. I always want to fly. His time in this world is just about up.
Ceases to exist. A little to use for him. But yeah, Slacks' idea for Ags upgrade for Ursa was that he goes into a jungle, he makes a den where he can hibernate inside, he comes back, he's stronger, he's hungry. Didn't figure out what hungry meant, but it gives him some kind of buff. This den has cubs inside, and a cub stacks the camps for you.
Like, the funny thing is, I love Jake, he's one of my favorite people, but you listen to these ideas and individually they're funny, and then you think about it and realize that if more than 2 of them were implemented, Dota would just be completely unplayed.
This is a good initiation. That's like the landed 2-man stun down and out. This is Iceberg's chance to shine, but the Chain Frost bounces between the ramps. He can't find an initiation. The Astral is all he has, but Tron, no Aegis left. He's got no Aegis. Tron is dropping low, and I think he might just be able to die here. He turns to fight, the Eclipse is down, he takes down one, the Earth is gone, but the OD does drop. Beta RoX still looking for a way back into this fight. BZ blinked aggressively in, drawing 3 of them up to the side, but always want to fly. He wanted the other kills, the 2-man stun back onto Arman and Joel. Catch him, but it's Gold Black. He wants blood from BZZ, and this is a fight that RoX really shouldn't have been involved in. It was all down to Afterlife. Great initiation with that Impale.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Team Spirit get an even trade, which is just a huge victory for them in that situation. There's no reason, given the state that the game was in, oh, the kill on the Queen of Pain! Oh my, Iceberg. I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy that for a minute.
I missed it. I missed it. I was about to pan my camera down.
You're an Invoker player. You can't miss that kill.
But I didn't know. I didn't know. Oh. If only we could rewind and go back and watch
I love you, dude, but I'm disappointed in you.
Oh, dearie me. Bug. Name for himself. 4,003. This Invoker has gone from like dog shit laning stage where he's just being crushed by Tornado RoX to having more money than God. What did he buy? He's buying his flags. He
had a great laning phase because it was secured by the Nyx Assassin, and then he gave the couple of big kills up, and it looked like he was just going to be really out of the game. But a couple of big fights from him, and he's he can do whatever he wants. Okay, casual 18-minute drums, eggs, Midas in a game that your team was getting crushed in. Sure, why not? God. I tell you, this could be a really, really good player. If this team stays stable and they get the right people around him, he's got quite a bit of upside in my opinion.
That'll do for the swing. RoX are themselves a 10k net worth lead at one point. Dipped a little bit by Team Spirit. Still these items on the Ursa that are missing. He's got the Blink Dagger now, so initiation is there. Next Roshan is going to be imperative for Team Spirit. Pick up. And it's not even about consolidating your lead. It's not necessarily about coming back into the game. It's just bolstering your forces and being able to fight that Aegis on Ursa. But they're going to fight without it anyway. Between Ursa Spirit and this little bear, they try to kick, but S is wrong. Tron with a little shimmy around the boulder. For safety, and now heading into a BKB, this OD is not going to care about a single thing that Team Spirit throws at him.
Yeah, you still have the possibility of a really good swap, but again, if he's quick on the trigger with his Imprison, that's not going to matter either. I mean, I feel like we talk about how Ursa gets so hard countered and so kited by so many of the skills and abilities that RoX is going to have on the table, but there's still, it's a 5-man game for a reason, and you count on your teammates to pick you up with great initiation, similarly to what happened in that fight top.
Made a RoX planning here. Spirit, he made a move towards top rune, and I thought that would be the target that they go for, but with limited vision, going for a smoke like this it's risky. Got no idea where the rest of Team Spirit are, and RoX, they now know that Nyx is bot lane with limited mana, Vendetta on cooldown for a little bit. Can they catch him with a Sunstrike? Where did that go? I don't know where the Sunstrike went. I thought they were scouting something and they're going to miss out on the Nyx, or are they? They've got wind of him, and Afterlife, he's got Vendetta, they have Dust, they've got Sentries, they've got Reveal. Assassin's dead.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's fine. At the end of the day, that's still a smoke and a 4-hero rotation for
Dire's
one
structures are
offlaner
fortified.
kill. That's actually completely fine. Now, what's not fine is if Iceberg gets caught out here, because he has more than enough time to see this coming.
Even pops the drums to secure his retreat. He'll need some kind of mobility item. The Blink Dagger is usually what you go for before the Aghanim set. Iceberg can always go back into that. 1,000 gold saved up. All the other option is you go for the boots of travel, and you go for that kind of split push route. You shove down a lane with your Forge Spirits. The team fight, just make sure you don't get caught out by these guys, because you are going to be dealing with the Queen of Pain Orchid very soon. I'm a little bit interested about BZZ's life progression here, because spreads into yours, fair enough. Dealing with a lot of annoying heroes, the Silence from Earth Spirit, the jump in and the stunt out from Nyx Assassin, are very annoying. Going back into the Orchid though.
I actually really, by the way, agree with this item progression here from Iceberg. He's actually even going to go into the Boots of Travel for the Blink Dagger. And I think that's absolutely the right decision here for the same reasons that we've been talking about RoX having so many tools to deal with the Ursa, that you blink in and they have so many ways to disrupt your combo.
I was meant to have this.
Afterlife. That was ballsy, buddy. Vendetta and Mixes move away from that one, but it's a push on the tier 2 at top. Iceberg with a double Forge Spritz making short work of this tower, while later RoX stepping up for this. The kick onto Tron, and the rest of Spirit here behind him. They don't want to initiate into Aegis. They want to make sure that Iceberg... I was going to say make sure Iceberg gets away, but he wants to do more damage to this tower apparently. The rest of RoX, they are incoming. Cavalry is awaiting. Spirit have this all timed perfectly. TP back down, push bot lane, and you're just dragging RoX from pillar to post across this map. It's like a game of badminton or a game of tennis. You're shoving them across the court and making sure that they don't get that slam dunk. They don't get that one play that wins them the game.
No, that's exactly right. And I was thinking exactly the same thing before you made that point, that what a difference 7-8 minutes makes. Not so long ago in this game, RoX were the ones that were dictating tempo and dictating pace. They were forcing action on the enemy side of the map, and now it just feels like they're getting around.
The line on the map is drawn. Table is set. Keep mid and top pushed out, it looks like. There's a tier 2 at bottom lane which they could relatively go for, but they know that as soon as they TP bot to defend tier 1 here, Iceberg's going to TP to another lane. So I just wonder if they do the old Tinker move, and they smoke themselves up, bait out one lane with, someone like the Faceless Void, pretend that he's there with someone behind him. They go and smoke into another lane as Yol is caught. The Sunstrike goes, and Lich is dead.
That's fine. So my question to you is, where does Ursa go with this gold that he's got? Oh my, nice initiation here. Cody, who's going to BKB up and just destroy them.
Ramses is in trouble as well. They were the ones that wanted to initiate into them. Ghosting. Oh, the Chrono. He's landed it. Sean, does he have the range to attack into it? He does indeed. The Ghost Walk is here for Iceberg, and he gets it off just in time. Invis through, kick across, and Iceberg, like he's out and pretty happy with that one. He invoked Ghost Walk before the Chrono landed. They have to do was spam that button.
Wow. That was still a disaster, but it wasn't an act of God. Because that could have been absolutely devastating for Spirit. I don't know if they just didn't realize that the OD had his BKB up. I mean, the OD had Aegis to begin with. That's what makes no sense to me about that fight.
Jumping into an OD who likely has an Oracle behind him. He's going to save in one way or another. BKB and Aegis. There are like 4 ways Tron gets out of that situation. His life.
And boy, that really... Ursa, okay, so Ursa does decide to go... He was holding on to a lot of gold there, and he does decide to just go for the Blink Dagger, alright.
Blinked a while back.
Oh, he did? Okay, he's had that Blink... still, Blink Master Madness. It's... I still am not used to some of these new meta builds that we're seeing.
But you were asking where he goes next, and... honestly, he desperately needs a BKB, but he also, it's again one of those situations where he needs so many items that making the decision to go for one first is the toughest decision to make. Even if you have 5,000 gold, deciding do I go BKB, do I go Basher, do I go this, do I go that, what do I do here? Dealing with the orbs out from Tron though, you desperately need some kind of magic immunity. Astral's there, Swap's not thrown out. At times, Aegis OD is just going to turn and fight them with the Orchid onto the bench. Clear up Gold Black easily with Ghosting jumping in, not having the Chrono speed, he baits out the Meteor. And Tron just keeps on battling on through it. Ramses finds his target, jumps on him. Tron has kept the line, held in place in the Deafening Blast, but they've just taken one after the other, and Iceberg, Astral, cancel his TP. Tornadoes on. Have this game on lockdown.
Yeah, they just have no answer for the BKB on OD right now, especially with Ursa as far behind as he is. That's kind of... it's great in theory to have that Mask of Madness Blink build because you ulti while you're berserk and it nullifies the increased damage, but the Mask of Madness duration is 12 seconds and the your ulti duration is only 4. And especially when RoX has so many control options.
I never thought about this interaction. Void plus Oracle. Purifying Flames, you Purifying Flames, you time walk off the damage is dealt, and you are... look at that! It's RMN! Okay, now it's RMN that wants to be on that dose for most heal done to freaking Ghosting, honestly. Insane kick forward, but Afterlife doesn't have a route in. The Aegis is down to Tron, so they do not have that secondary life available for him. So Tornado RoX will back themselves away from this. I don't think Team Spirit wants to let them go with a good kick. Again, catches 2. Goldblack for the swap back. Tron has been caught, but if off the BKB turns the fight, and Goldblack is rude! Under the Chain Frost as well, and Chrono down for always wanna fly. Secures that one up. Easy peasy.
Okay, so now that you mentioned that interaction, we still gotta fight on
that. Ramsey's not done. Meteor Death Blast is not on the money. This damage output from RoX just keeps on coming. EZZ takes one out with a Purifying Flame. RMN, they look to Fortune's End Iceberg, and this EMP, it might deter RoX, and it will. Off them back away from this, but Ramsey's Afterlife jump in again. They want this third fight to go their way. They're going to kill on the support, but that's about it. Maybe they can get RMN, but the sentry's down. BZZ yules up into the air onto the Nyx Assassin, and Afterlife throws the stun to cancel the TP of RMN. Good awareness from the Nyx Assassin, but it might be his downfall as Ghosting Flinksy with a time dilation. Ice Wall is out, but so are Tornado RoX.
It looked like, and he definitely did miss some spells in that fight, but I actually think Iceberg used his spells pretty well considering the situation that his team is in. That again could have been disastrous for Spirit and wasn't. But as far as the Oracle Void interaction, it's one of those awkward things because you said it. I feel like I knew about that only because a certain smart person that I talked to told me about it, and then was like, oh wait, don't say anything about it if you cast a game. I'm like, That's
one of those,
pretty damn awkward.
One of those niche little things that's, it's always like that. You find an interaction that not everyone knows about, and you keep it hidden, keep it secret.
Well, it was one of those things. Actually, the same thing happened the last game that we had with the interaction between Witcher Wyvern and and auras, with Winter Wyvern countering auras pretty heavily. I was careful not to talk about that, but then I heard a caster talk about it in the game the other day, so I was like, all right, cool, say that. It's out there.
People work things out for themselves sometimes.
It really is. I don't know. It's part of the fun for me being the old man is talking to some of these players. The players that we have are just really very, very clever right now. They come up with all these little interactions that I certainly would never have thought of.
At this point, Tron making great strides towards Hex, I guess, looking at the way this game's going. The BKB is up for Ramses. Oh, mid lane, who's been caught out here? Steel blink himself over the head of Afterlife. Was that a pink ping or was that a purple ping? I'm not sure who saw who. I don't know if Afterlife was being told to get back, or if RoX knew that Afterlife was there, because the courier was floating overhead. Either way it goes, it's a Shiver's Guard. Odie, not the Hex.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You already have so many tools to deal with the Ursa that the marginal value of getting one more is a lot less than it otherwise would be.
Dire's top tower
It's a kiting
is
tool.
under attack.
I mean, Shivers is a kiting tool just this.
Chasing people down. Black. You are farming creeps in a very dangerous position, and you might just die for it.
Yeah. Atos OP, man.
The range on Atos is insane.
1200 range. That is no joke. That is the one most underrated thing about that item, and one of the more underrated aspects of any item in the game is just the sheer initiation range.
I was playing Scarab mid the other day, or a couple of weeks ago. No. It must have been like a week ago or something for my early challenge. And I play mid, so I played Scarab mid, and it was fine, it was fun. I built Aetherlens and Rod of Atos, and it drove me insane at how long range I could initiate from. Yes. Because I would initiate from further range than I could actually cast any other spell. So it's like, right, I've got this Rod of Atos, I've started on someone, but I can't catch up to them and follow through, because the range of my other spells isn't good enough.
I actually, it's funny because you brought him up, but I actually think Skywrath might be back, at least a little bit, just because of how well so many of the meta heroes set up for them.
Oh, Ramses, he's got his number of BZZs being shredded, but he blinks himself away with a BKB up. The blink aggressively from Ramses, trying to chase him down, but he guessed correctly. Ghost Stick is busy taking down Roshan, so Invoker and Nick both die. Invoker down the bottom lane. But it's OD that's going to take up its Aegis, and they've got Cheese as well for the face of the Void. Or even to pop it over to the Queen of Pain if you want.
Yeah, and this is a really... The Aegis on OD is just a really big deal for them right now. Because he's a hero that can be a bit of a glass cannon, but with the Shivers and the BKB and the Atos already up, killing him twice starts to become really scary. Of course, you are... meanwhile, while you're getting that objective, you're draining resources from Spirit. Yeah, exactly. What you just said.
What was Ursa doing? Regardless, Ramses does die. Way a fair amount of gold over to RoX. Worrying stuff. I mean, it's, again, another one of those situations where Ursa feels the need to go and farm away from old Goblat. That's the use of BZZ to set up and start things off with a tanky bench, and might not die to this as BZZ's forced to BKB and Iceberg. With always on a fly, they actually the net down into BZZ, and with that flick forward, Afterlife gets a ton of damage, but the Sunstrike won't be on the mark, and neither will stun. False promise out from RMN, will keep him up and running. A good beat to definitely blast, though, pushes him back 3, and this maybe is where Iceberg can really start to shine, but the BKB from Tron keeps him alive and happy. So
are you serious? That play from RMN?
RMN? Okay. Fine, so who's not fine? Ghosting, EMP, dead, gone. Tornado will secure the kill, it looks like, and finish him off. Over to the side, it's just fights and little mini battles everywhere. The Nyx Assassin, offlaner for offlaner. Oh god. Well, and then another one? And another one?
As Iceberg, don't you have to, I mean, you have to be so frustrated with that play. That false promise by RMN literally the split second before the Sunstrike hit.
Fortune's End, false promise, stop people in their tracks, keep people alive. Yeah. No, Fortune's End's the stun, the instant.
Okay, good. I still have this little part of me. I was pretty sure I had the right.
No, you get it right, but it's just that he threw Fortune's End out initially in the start of the team fight and held people in place for OD to actually kind of weasel himself out of the situation, and then Promised to keep him alive through the tunnel. Well, it's all just great from RMN.
And after all that, OG still has his Aegis up, right? It's
Oh yeah, you're right.
just no missed beat here.
You know, it's nice seeing RMN on these tier 1 kind of, well, tier 2 teams, I guess. You know, the higher echelon of the tier 2 teams. We used to see him on Goomba Gaming, the German squad. He played a bit of Power Rangers as a stand-in. Now he seems relatively settled in Tornado RoX. I don't know if he's going to be a permanent fixture, but good.
No, I'm really pleased with the way that he's made the transition to support play. I used to think of him primarily as a mid player. So he's played some very nice Invoker games that I've seen, but I really like. He's provided a lot of stability to this team, and that's not easy because these are all high octane players.
High ground push they were looking for. Agents on OD still available. He is not the best hero to just walk up onto high ground and hit away at buildings, but if there's no tier 3 there, who cares? He can do it anyway. Force spirits do not last long under the burning power of that arcane orb.
He's not the best in a vacuum, but again, with this build, he becomes so much more in your face than he otherwise would be.
Best team spirit, and Invoker is mid. He can BOT himself into this fight in the forge, get himself into the Tornado Meteor. Racks are falling, and with no glyph available, Invoker's still waiting his time to actually go and initiate on this team fight.
Yeah,
Iceberg doesn't want a part of it. He's just taking tier 2. And here we go, the Chrono down the 3, Ghosting is found with the Sonic Wave out, and they're all freaking dead! Tron just drops the hammer. With a triple kill straight out like that, you've got to wonder, if Iceberg's not joining, the rest of your team sit in the bloody fountain.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that the tier 2 for RoX trade is going to catch on in the meta. Ay.
No buybacks available either for any of them. Iceberg's trying his damnedest to get the tier top plane. He'll take it down and look for the racks. He's going to blink himself back as Ghosting is not a man to be trifled with. He does a lot of damage with that time warp. He can keep himself going and chasing on this Invoker for extended periods of time. So Tornado RoX just take another lane of racks. BG to BKB. All popped up and ready. It's Afterlife. There's Tornado 1-1, but Afterlife can't get anything out, and the Meteor definitely lands again. Not on the money. While Tron just sits high ground and wails on his Iceberg Invoker. There's no reveal out just yet. He wants to Ghost Walk, but this false promise keeping Tron alive for now. He'll probably die to the Sunstrike as well, but he's still got that agent in BKB. He heals up.
Oh my
what?
lord.
I thought he died. Afterlife gets turned on, and that BKB kept him alive. Tron, he could potentially just keep on fighting here if he wants to. With the help of BGD, he gets swapped. He has no choice. He has to fight now. And Iceberg looks for the kill on the swamp, but the Queen of Pink can blink away, gets himself into the trees. Ramsey is waiting with a bash, hit, and kill. Finally getting something for their worries. Tron, caught by the tornado.
Look at the range with this combo.
Aegis is gone. Astral is there, but guess who's back, baby? Ghosting with the Chrono onto 3, and Tron, perfect position to get a kill on the Invoker. Ramses gets in, no bash just yet. Iceberg buys back, camps fast forward, and Tron, they'll finally kill him at long last. The 16-1-8. Invoker not getting the last hit. Ramses gets 1,400 gold, but not before the OD kills off the Earth Spirit.
I mean, how big are Iceberg's shoulders after that fight? Because he has just taken his whole team on his back and said, all right, guys, we're losing. We're probably not going to win this match anyway, but I'm going to give us a chance. That's crazy.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Poor Invoker. Iceberg still has 4,500 gold. Enough. After dying and buying back. After the BKB. I'm pretty sure you look for Refresher here. You skip the Octarine, you go Refresher, because that's your game-winning item, right? That's the swinger.
Seriously?
Yeah.
All right, I'm down, man. If you think you can pull it off, I am utterly down.
Like with double BKB, double Meteor Deathing Blast, the BKBs of Dire are wearing down. Like you got 5 seconds on OD. Being able to get that damage output into a short period of time. The other item for me would be Hex, but I don't think.
No.
That's gonna be lackluster for me. I think it has to be Refresher.
No, it's one of those two, I think, for sure. But that Refresher is a YOLO play. I think.
Oh yeah, I think they have to.
I agree. Well, you know what? I don't know. They've made so much happen here in the last couple of minutes. They've now traded evenly on Raxes. I don't know.
I'm with the OD dead. this OD alive, I think the bull rush down this top lane kind of equalized things out, because it's naked RoX again up on top. Tornado RoX can really reset these lanes across the floor and push top aggressively. Spirit, they've got to be the ones that do something. 5,500 gold saved up on Iceberg, and honestly, there's no buyback for 5 minutes. There's no point in saving up for anything. I mean, there's no point in saving up for buyback. Just go for that big get item.
More and more, I think I'm with you on this, man. It's one of those that you got us back into the game. He is going to go Octarine. It is the safer choice. At some point, the issue that I have evaluating some of these games is you've got to figure out, okay, when have we done enough to shift out of desperation mode and start building items that aren't just all in place.
Oh, for refresher at the 6th slot. I really wanted an Iceberg.
I really did too. The Invoker fanboy in me was dying to see it, but I think the Octarine is the smarter choice.
As an Invoker, you never want to go BKB, so that's like one item slot already kinda wasted in the eyes of an Invoker picker. You never want to go BKB, but sometimes you just have to.
Yeah, there is absolutely. You basically the blink has very little value without the BKB, honestly. Yeah. Because you blink in, and they have so many ways to just lock you down if you don't have it.
Ramses is pretty close to Abyssal Blade, but he does still need to keep this money for buyback. Like, eye out. Sure that his buddy doesn't get found.
Oh, this
but
you
the
just
blink
can't
forward.
do this here. Ah.
Ramses, tragic, and I think Afterlife is dead as well. No buyback on your Nyx. There's Ursa there. He's gonna have to buy back to defend top racks. Tornado RoX, like I said, they just reset the lanes, mid lane across the river pretty much, bot lane has to be shoved by Iceberg. This is where, you know, the bulldozer just goes down and takes these buildings out. There is a glyph for the Radiant. Well, I don't know how useful that's going to be.
This is where what you said about having the naked RoX top is so devastating that if you don't give up that kill on Ursa there, you can probably at least keep the lane equilibrium decent, but now it's going to cost you at least a buyback, and they don't have to back here.
Waiting for his ghost stick to move. Spirit have to be so wary of his jump in. Well, there's the little blink, the little fake out there. Iceberg's not going to fake out anything with a Tornado Meteor. Chrono onto the Invoker with a swap back from Godblack. Keeps Iceberg alive. Front BKB through and always going to fly. He's going to die. Again, a swap, but Ghost Stick jumped himself away, but BZZ trying to ride it through as Iceberg BKBs himself. Turns to battle, but he's got nothing left. With no Tornado Meteor, his combos are waning and a deafening battle gives him some space and time, but Ramsey cycloned up. Can't keep himself on the tail of the OD, but BZZ able to blink away. The Force Staff is there and he gets himself out barely on a beasting of hell's football. Drawn, hello, what are you doing? After himself. He's in the thick of things, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Healed up and kept alive by RMN and godlike plays on the Oracle and GG. Spirit tapped out.
I mean, Iceberg just did everything he could to basically win this game by himself, but the execution from RoX, almost from beginning to end in this game, was certainly the best that we've seen yet today. They had a great game plan. They had a great set of almost hard counters to the Ursa, and you saw it. I mean, a 5-10 Ursa that just really struggled from start to finish. And